It appears as if the Trump administration, or more specifically Donald Trump, is still undecided about whether or not to officially join Israel in its fight against Iran. The latest news is that Trump is allowing Iran 2 weeks to make a decision on its future. Should the U.S. join Israel, the likeliest scenario is still for it to use its bunker-busting bombs to go after Iran's nuclear program. However, there are now conflicting reports as to whether the Trump administration is actually considering using a tactical nuke. It was originally reported that the scenario of using nukes was not presented to Trump at all, but the White House has since pushed back on that report and stated that no option has been ruled out. In all likelihood, Trump is using the potential deployment of a tactical nuke to try and scare Iran into acquiescing to his demands. His unconditional surrender comment on Truth Social made it clear what he expects them to do. However, what might actually happen is that the more Trump threatens them, the more Iran feels the need to stand up to America. In other words, Trump isn't leaving Iran an option to save face. They're almost forcing Trump to follow through on his threat. As we know, the United States is already the only country in the world to ever use a nuclear weapon during wartime with the attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Still, try and imagine the shock and horror around the world if we did actually deploy a tactical nuke against Iran. What would the reaction be? Obviously, such a strike would destroy Iran's capability to build a nuclear weapon, but it could also plant the seeds for a payback that would be even more shocking to the world. A desire to destroy an American city in like fashion, no matter how many years that takes. What I'm alluding to is how the Bible talks about an unidentified city called Mystery Babylon, which symbolizes Babylon the Great, the kingdom of the Antichrist in the last days. This Mystery Babylon is prophesied to be utterly destroyed with fire. There is one great city in the world that perfectly matches the one described in Revelation. It is the city where the Antichrist himself was born, the Big Apple in the Empire State. It is the city where the Antichrist made a name for himself. It is the financial capital of the world, with Wall Street being the symbol of the greed upon which America runs. It displays a statue literally inspired by the Roman goddess Libertas, boasting of freedom and liberty. Based on the descriptions given in the Bible of Mystery Babylon, which is that of a great port city teeming with a diverse population, and one that merchants of the world will see the smoke rise from, I believe it is none other than New York City. Trump using a nuke against Iran, if indeed that happens, sets up a scenario where Iran and those sympathetic to it start to immediately plan for revenge. And nothing would satisfy them more than to utterly destroy New York City. All of this is speculation, of course, depending on whether or not Trump does decide to use a tactical nuke on Iran. But if he does, we could be planting the seeds for a retaliation that will make 9/11 look insignificant by comparison. And the known allies of Iran who might assist them in that attack, countries such as Russia, China, and North Korea, could very well end up being the three horns that are uprooted by the Antichrist.